Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the District 1 Town Hall meeting. When I was driving in, I was just wondering where has the time gone. I was trying to figure out how long I'd been on the Board of Supervisors. When I figured it up, I'd been on the supervisors on that for 29 years. So where has the time gone? But I still enjoy assisting citizens and venting their concerns about the community. And when I started my political career, I didn't have any idea that I would be serving this long and this many years. But I'm still excited about the future of our great county. When I think about the things of the previous Board of Supervisors has accomplished and what we probably and hopeful can accomplish in the future, is I'm still interested in serving on the Board of Supervisors. And citizens, please give me your input if you'd like to have anything that you want to mention as far as the progress that we are trying to make now. So we need your input on that. On another subject, I would like to mention some of my accomplishments, especially in District 1. The county has approved the 300 megawatt solar project that will be located on 106. And this is S Power's project, and they're wrapping up the first phase. Hopefully, they'll be breaking ground soon. We have not received a date for that. But the project also provided 5 acres of land on 106, where the Board of Supervisors will eventually put a new fire station, which I'm really glad of. I've worked on that for a long time, trying to get a fire station in District 1. We're already planning for that. If we get the fire station in District 1, I think we'll have fire stations in every district. So that's really great. The county has the option also to acquire 300 feet from 106 back to the S Power land. We're seriously looking at that. We hope that we can develop that area. That will go from Wayside Road up to Cattail Road. So we're excited about that. So we will be trying to develop that. And also on another note, the county has applied for funding to construct a new food pantry for the community. And we're waiting on the announcement in the next few months to see if we receive a grant or not. I think it's very important that we consider this, and I'm sure we will do this because individuals have lost their job. They can't put food on the table because of this COVID-19. It's just sad when you see that many people in line looking for help. So we want to try to help the community as much as possible. I was looking at TV last week. I think it was in Chesterfield County. They had a line of cars, probably anywhere from a half to 3/4 of a mile, waiting in line to get food. So we want to do everything we can to help the citizens. Okay. Another note: Charles City County is on the path of economic growth, and District 1 plays a significant role in that development. And the reason being, that is a thoroughfare, a major highway going through the county, 106 is. And that will give us access to the interstates. And I'm thinking that's what the truckers are looking for. We definitely want to keep them off these side roads. That's why we're so interested in developing the 106 corridor. And we are collaborating in new ways with the school, church, and nonprofit organizations and the businesses. We want everyone, organizations involved in the decision making of how they would like to see the 106 corridor development. We're also looking for citizens who are willing to step up to the plate and get involved and assist us with moving the county forward. I'm mostly looking for District 1 citizens. Way the board do that, Mr. Cota, he will pick individuals from District 2, Mr. Black from 3, and I'm from 1. So if anyone is interested in serving on the planning commission right now, and I know we have a opening on social service, I think it's very important that we try to find someone that's really interested and step up to the plate and want to serve on the planning commission, because that's what we're doing, planning for the development especially in the 106 quarter. I will share with you 5 pillars that are our priority for this fiscal year in October. Due to the COVID-19, we were not able to share our plans with the community in July. And one of the pillars that is very fond to me is public safety. I've been involved in that for a long time. I started out with the volunteer fire department. I serve on the board of directors for that. And now I'm with the fire committee, with the new hire committee, fire committee. And we have really moved forward with the fire and EMS in the county. You as a citizen said it's one of the things that you wanted us to do, and that is we have hired 12 career fire and EMS staff. We have reduced response time with citizens that are called at 911, which is very important. We also have acquired 2 new ambulances, and we have installed over 100 fire detectors in the community. And I would suggest to you citizens that wintertime is coming. If you need a fire detector, I would suggest that you would call the volunteer fire and EMS, or else the permanent career fire and EMS. And I'm sure either one of those could assist you in that. We have expanded our fire station in District 3. We have renovated that so we would have a place for our permanent fire departments to stay, because we are now offering 24-hour service. To the power plants, due to the COVID-19, the power plants developers are reassessing Charles City, and we do not have any other current updates at this time. But if we do, I would ask Ms. Johnson to announce that, or else we would announce it at our regular Board of Supervisors meeting. For the broadband, we encourage you to tune in on Tuesday night for the latest broadband update. That'll be at our regular Board of Supervisors meeting. So hopefully we will have the developer there. Is that correct, Ms.? On Tuesday for the broadband?
No, October 13th.
Okay. October the 13th, we will have a meeting that you can come in to. They go make a presentation. So hopefully that will happen. I hope we're on the right path this time for broadband. I know we're gonna start off with all people not getting it, but I hope in time that we can expand it all the way through the county. All right. I have 3 questions that I would like to read to you all. If we were in a perfect world, what is one amenity that could improve the quality of life for District 1? Second question is, we are looking for innovative ideas for moving the county forward. We are seeking individuals to serve and represent District 1 on various boards and commissions. What can we do to inspire better engagement for residents of our district? And number 3, COVID-19 has a tremendous impact on our nation, our state, and our county. Charles City has put several systems in place to help meet the need of the community during this crisis. Are there lingering needs in District 1 that you feel the county should address? Okay? This,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're so excited to have you all on Facebook Live and YouTube Live tonight. It looks like we have about 35 people on Facebook. So, Mr. Smith, you you are truly popular tonight. Everybody's chiming in, and so, ladies and gentlemen, this is a time opportunity where you can put your Mr. Smith's screen went out. If you can help them, Miranda. This is the opportunity where you can put your questions in and hopefully answer the questions that has been placed up for District 1. If you have any questions or comments for Mr. Smith, you can just drop them in the comment section on Facebook Live, and we will get them on the platform that we're using here in the Government Administration Building. And so we're excited to have you guys here tonight. Mr. Smith, just someone did chime in and said that you look like a preacher. You was doing a sermon this evening. I was like, I don't think so, but we'll see. So we have Miss Latoya Johnson Davis. She says she's interested in serving on the planning commission for District 1, Mr. Smith. Yeah, you just need to unmute whenever you are, when you need to talk.
Ms. Johnson, I appreciate you interested in serving. If you could come in and talk to Ms. Johnson or our planning director about serving, and they can more or less go over what what the expectation is and what you'll be involved in. I'd appreciate it very much, and I appreciate you saying you're interested in serving. Thank you.
All right, so Dr. Furman, you can read his question, Mr. Smith, or I'll read it for you. Waste Management canceled its April hazardous waste collection, and can the county encourage a hazardous waste collection soon?
I'm unmuted, right?
Yes.
Mr. Furman, I wasn't aware of that, but I think we definitely need that because they have been doing that, I don't know, every year, every other year. I know appliances, tires, and paint, and different kind of chemicals. So I will get Mrs. Johnson to call them and try to set up a date very soon to do that. So thank you for your question.
I know from I think it was Mr. Coda's town hall meeting, we also had some questions about I'm sorry, about waste management and the collection sites. I know you expressed, use your machine, Mr. Smith. There you go. I know we had some questions, and you've expressed concerns about the waste, the containers being filled over the weekend, and so we have some correspondence going to Waste Management to see if we can sit down and have a meeting with them to correct that. So we will work on that. We will add that to the list from Dr. Furman.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. I know that the board had asked for some correspondence from Waste Management, at least asked them for a letter to tell them what they would possibly could do to improve that site, because I continue to get calls when the citizens go up there, everything is full, even to the point that when they go up there, the attendant tells them there's nowhere for you to put your waste. But I must say, I went up there last week, and that's the best that place had looked in months. I mean, the dumpsters was just but empty, all three of them. They had an individual at the compactor. It really looked great, but that's the first time I could say that in several months. So I just hope they keep up the good work.
So Ms. Helen Payne Jones says several months ago, she requested VDOT representative at the Board of Supervisors meeting to check on running water flooding at 9220 Kimmages Road, which is causing costly repairs to driveway. To date, no one has contacted, nothing has been done with ditches along Kimmages Road.
Ms. Jones, thank you for those comments. I've been working on that probably the last 3 months, and my understanding is we have Public Works from the county involved. We have the U.S. Mail involved, and we have VDOT involved. And the last thing that I heard, and I thought that they were going to start today, I thought they gave me the date of the 21st. What's going to happen there? The mailboxes will be removed. The county will build something like a shelf type where you can put them on one runner there. All the mailboxes except two. And I think those two maybe be plastic, and that's the reason we can't put them on this runner that's going all the way that you can put all of them there. VDOT is going to put a dish there. They're going to rebuild the road there in that area, and they're going to set it back where you won't have that water standing in front of it. But I will get Ms. Johnson to check with Public Works, because it was three: Public Works, VDOT, and the Postal Service. And the Postal Service was supposed to send you all a letter all the mailboxes there to let you know it would probably be 1 day or 2 days that you would not receive mail while they're doing that transition there. So I will be checking on that, and I'll get Ms. Johnson to get back with you or to respond. I appreciate your comments.
Okay, Mr. Smith. Miss Cecilia Wynn Bradby says, does VDOT check on the county roads to determine if they need small repairs such as potholes, etc., or do they wait for citizens to call? That seems to be the only way we can get repairs if we call. Can you encourage VDOT to clean the ditches where we have frequent flooding?
Ms. Bradby, we always call VDOT if someone calls in to their board representative. But generally, if we report something, it takes at least 30 days or longer to get anything done there. So if you have any issues that you would like to discuss or any areas that you like for the attention of VDOT, I always send them an email, or else I address the issue at a regular board meeting. But when you talk to VDOT, the first thing that they mention is funding. Don't have the funding to do certain things, but we can't let the road just fall apart and do nothing. But I encourage you to call me if any areas that needs attention. But when I see things like that, I do report it, whether the citizens call me or not. Thank you.
Mr. Smith, Helen Payne Jones said that's not the address affected, so we can reach out to VDOT for that address that she provided. She said that with the description that you just gave wasn't the address that was affected for VDOT.
Ms. Jones, I thought that was the area that was affected right across from where you go into Wayside Hunt Club. There's another mailbox number that you can give me so I can report it tomorrow night?
While we're waiting on her, Mr. Smith, Charlotte Peterson says VDOT needs to do a better job cutting and removing trash on Charles City roads. They are doing a horrible job.
Ms. Peterson, thank you for that comment. I agree with you 100%. But again, when you approach VDOT for these issues or concerns that the citizens have, the first thing they tell us is no funding out there to do these type of things. I know they did have an individual picking up the trash on the on the road there. You can feed but I agree. We need to do a better job. But I'll go a step further. Now I can't say as citizens of Charles City County, I don't know who is doing it, but the time that the individuals from VDOT pick up their trash, I bet you within hours, you see the same thing again, and especially at Route 5 and Wayside Road. That's that's where it builds up all the time. But I'm not trying to give an excuse, but I will talk to VDOT about that. Thank you.
And another thing, I guess, we also, we're gonna try it again. We actually did try to do a virtual community litter cleanup, and so we actually didn't have any participants or anyone to let us know that they wanted to participate. So we'll try that again in the fall. And we were asking individuals to just pick up the trash along. You can mute your machine, Mr. Smith. We were asking individuals to just pick up trash along your roadway. So we are going to attempt to do that again to assist with the litter pickup. Miss Cecilia Wynn Bradley, you said it doesn't take long to fix when I called to VDOT, so we're thankful for that. Miss Helen Payne Jones, she gave her address 9220 Kimmages Road. So, Mr. Smith, you can just add that to your list for them to evaluate.
Ms. Jones, we'll report that address tomorrow evening at our regular board of supervisors meeting. Thank you.
Dr. Steve Furman said the county's COVID-19 case number has risen to 83 and is rising at double the state per population rate. Is the county engaged with the health department in active contact tracing and other prevention measures? Dr. Furman, we are very engaged with the health department. We are participating in the governor's health equity campaign. We are receiving 5,000 face masks, 5,000 bottles of hand sanitizer that we will be putting out, distributing out to the community through the schools, through our churches, through food pantry distributions. And so that will help in the weeks to come. Still encouraging people to take all the COVID-19 measures as we did in the beginning of the pandemic. And so we are looking to the health department to try to schedule another testing site. I did get an email that New Kent County, they are having another nonprofit organization in New Kent is having a testing site tomorrow. I just saw that email. And so we're working with the health department to get another testing event here in Charles City. I think the first time we have about 27 individuals to get tested. The second time we had about 12. And so working with the health department to see if we can get testing done again. But also our Central Virginia Regional Health Services located on Courthouse Road or Route 155, they do offer COVID-19 testing. And so we're still encouraging citizens to practice all the preventative measures for COVID-19.
No questions, Ms. Johnson?
We don't have any. You got to mute your machine when you're not talking. We're going to get it right before the night is over, Mr. Smith. So we don't have any questions right now, but as we're waiting for individuals to bring in questions, we want to revisit the first question. If we were in a perfect world, what is the amenity that could improve the quality of life for residents of District 1? So if you guys could just chime in and write a quick note in the comment section, what is it in District 1 that you would like for Mr. Smith to advocate for, whether it's some type of economic development or services or program? We want to hear from you for District 1 constituents. I know Mr. Black and Mr. Coder received a lot of great ideas from their town hall. And so we want to hear from you. So if you're in a perfect world, what amenities would you need for District 1? Mr. Smith, we do have Steve Furman that says, will the county be actively pursuing revenue sharing agreements with any future solar plant proposals as recently authorized by the General Assembly as up to 1,400 per megawatt?
Did you say any other?
Mhm.
No, we haven't had any other one approach us, but we probably would have to deal with that case by case as economic development come in. When you're talking about revenue sharing, that takes away from our revenue for the county itself, and we'd want to preserve all we can to keep that funds there. But a lot of times it takes certain things to get different companies in here. But in my opinion, we have to look at that case by case.
Okay, Miss Lisa Jones said she would like to see asphalt. Can we get asphalt walking trails at Harrison Park?
Ms. Jones, thank you for that question. I will pose it to my county administrator and to my two colleagues, and we will discuss that and see if we can do that. I appreciate your question.
While we're waiting for other questions to come in, Mr. Smith, let me ask you, over the past 20 years, what are some lessons that you have learned from serving on the Board of Supervisors?
All right. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned is we need to listen to the citizens. Not that we can do everything, and not that we're going to agree on everything, but we need to have a listening ear for the citizens. And oftentimes, when you have these conversations with the citizens, sometimes they're not pleasant. But I've what I've done, I will listen to the citizens, and I hope they listen to me, and I hope we can agree to disagree and walk away. But oftentimes, is there's a whole lot of resentment there. But I've learned to deal with that very well, and I hope I can continue to do that.
Okay, Dr. Furman said, I guess specifically, are we doing contact tracing for positive cases? Dr. Furman, we do have a COVID-19 map that we use internally because we do get the addresses for the positive cases here in Charles City and just seeing what the trends are. We use those for our 911 calls so that when our fire and EMS and sheriff's department, if they have to go to that address, they know that there may be a positive COVID-19 case. So we are doing it. We do have a tracking mechanism here in the county. Steve Hoyt wants to know, what is the status of the no trucks on Old Union Road and Charles City Road? Steve Hoyt. You have to unmute.
Did we skip Val Johnson Stewart?
Oh, okay. We sure did. We can go back to that. So before we answer, if you could mute Mr. Smith.
Okay.
We're playing a muting game, ladies and gentlemen, trying to get him to get in the habit of muting his machine. So sorry about that, Ms. Stewart. So 106 has become very dangerous with the tractor trailers and wood trucks speeding and coming around curves on the wrong side of the road. Did you want to address that, Mr. Smith?
That's what they're doing, and I believe it's a dangerous situation. I know they've had several wrecks on the curve up there running down through the woods. We can talk to the sheriff and see if they can run radar there to slow them down, and hopefully that will help. But again, that's a thoroughfare. But I don't want people to come through there speeding with those large trucks because you're putting yourself and your family in danger. So I will get Ms. Johnson to talk to the sheriff and see if anything that he can do, and tell them that people are concerned, but the speeding of those trucks coming through 106.
All right, you're muted. Good job. So now we'll go back to Mr. Hoyt. What is the status of the no trucks on Old Union Road and Charles City Road? Mr. Hoyt, we will be giving a full update tomorrow night at the Board of Supervisors meeting and what we're doing to still remedy that problem. So if you want to tune in tomorrow night for the Board of Supervisors meeting at 7, it is virtually as well as in the auditorium. And so we will be giving a complete full update of the status and where we are. Thank you. So as we continue to allow questions to come in, we want to move on to question number 2 that Mr. Smith asked. They're looking for, just innovative ideas to move the county forward and seeking individuals to serve on different boards and commissions. So what can we do to inspire better engagement from residents of our district? And so if you are in District 1, I'm working with the Board of Supervisors to get them to be district specific. I know they work on everything as Charles City as a whole, but also narrowing down the priorities for each district. And so if you think about District 1 and that's where you live, and that's where, you enjoy your family and friends, what can you do to inspire better engagement for residents of that district? And so if you could drop your comments in the comment section, we would really appreciate it. And so, Mr. Smith, if you could tell your constituents that are on tonight, what are your top priorities, your top 2 priorities for District 1?
My first priority is fire station. I've been working on that for years and years, and we're closer now than we ever have been. We have the land that has been donated. We have found funding that we are putting towards that, and I made those promises years ago. And now we're at a point that we can build it, and I want to move forward to do that.
And your second priority?
My second priority is we need to look at 106 and say that's where our economic development is going to occur. And the reason being, that's a thoroughfare, that's a highway that can handle trucks, and I know that's a sore subject with some people, but we can't not allow these trucks on these side roads. They're not wide enough and not built sturdy enough because they will tear the roads up. So my priority is to try to rezone 106, even if it's not all of 106, because if we don't do something, houses gonna be there, and there's certain economic development I don't want to put close to a house. So now it's spread out that we can rezone some of that land. I think we need to work as fast as we can to rezone it before a whole lot of houses be built there. Not that I want to take anyone's land that they're planning on building a house. I think that what we need to do for the future.
And while we're waiting for additional comments or questions to come in, over your term as the Board of Supervisors, you've worked over, what is it, 29 years as a Board of Supervisors member. What has been your favorite project for you to work on? Like one of those projects that you accomplished, you got to see happen. So out of all the many projects and the great things that you've done, what is your absolutely, like, your top 2 favorite things that you've accomplished?
I really have to flip a coin for that because all the accomplishments that I have made along with my colleagues, I mean, we have a 3-person board and I can make suggestions, but they have to agree that they'll go along with the decisions that I bring to them, which they have been very good in doing that. But I'm gonna mention something, Ms. Johnson, that you probably wasn't born at the time. And that is, we used to have a building on Ruffield Road that was called the Fab Building. You remember that? I told you. But anyway, and this might sound uh, uh, not be perfect or important to some people, but If you go back in history and look at that building, that used to be called the Fair Building. It was a large building. They used to play basketball there. And the way it was built, it was nothing there to hold the top of the building up. And it was a wonder that the sides didn't get pushed out of the building with the top falling inside. If that had happened, it would have been a major disaster right there. So I forgot what year that we decided, and I've probably been in there also because I used to go down those Saturdays. But anyway, we decided to tear that building down, and people came to us crying, said, "No, don't tear it down. That's all we have, and we know that y'all not going to build it back." So we promised them that we would build it back, and we did, and that's the finished product that we have now. And I was looking back the other day, we dedicated that building in 1993, the building that we have now. But that if that had fallen, it would have been a major disaster in Charles City County. So I'm glad that we got that done.
So Miss Cecilia Wynn Bradby says this weekend her and her husband both had close calls coming out of her dad's driveway at 6920 South Lot Cary Road. We are not able to see around the curve when we pull out onto the highway. That's the curve where there was a recent fatality. It is very dangerous and something needs to change. I have also spoken to Mr. Kodum. Miss Bradby, we are definitely have heard, your concerns and various others. I know we requested last month to have a speed study done on that and around that specific area on Lot Cary. And also they will be discussing it tomorrow night. So if you tune in virtually, you can hear parts of the discussion. We also have an individual in that same block of Lot Cary he's really unable to get his mail because of this traffic and the speed coming around the curve. And so we're working with the post office to also remedy that problem. So thank you so much for your question, your concerns, and that's something that we definitely are addressing. Ms. Helen Payne Jones says, question 1, District 1 can use better internet cell services, better roads, not having to leave the county for basic amenities like groceries, dry cleaner, laundromats, pharmacy, retail stores, etc.
Ms. Jones, I agree with your comments. The better roads, we always want VDOT to improve the roads itself. And we have what you call a 6-year plan, and they give us X number of dollars each year. And the little money that they give us, we wouldn't even be able to fix the holes in the roads. And I would say just in District 1. So there's not a whole lot of money that VDOT wanted to give up to fix the roads. But I agree, we have terrible roads in Charles City and we need to improve them. What was the other part of it? You need amenities in the county. My opinion, we need people to support the amenities in the county, and we definitely need those services. But how much support would they get locally? I really don't know. But generally, when an individual that I've seen, the people that I've talked to outside want to come in, first thing they do, they run a traffic count. They can probably tell you how much money that's spent in the county from all the businesses there now. And just take, for example, when I was working in Richmond, I probably didn't spend $50 a year in Charles City. And the reason being, you go by these high dollars, you go by these stores like Food Lion, Kroger, things a whole lot cheaper there. You get your gas, which I can say now, up there at Row 5, 106 and Wayside Road. That's about the cheapest gas you can get now. But once he sell all that that's in the tank, that's when he generally go up. But I agree, we do need these services, but we need people to support. But if you're not involved in a chain store, I don't think you can really be competitive in selling this product. And that's just my opinion, and I could be totally wrong.
I know as we are looking at the development for the 300 feet on 106, those are some of the things that we've just been tossing around for future developments. We're putting together the plans. And so, Ms. Helen Payne Jones, thank you for those comments. And as we get closer and start development, what is needed in that development, we will be having community meetings in District 1 concerning the 300 feet development. So thank you so much. Ms. Cecilia Wynn Bradley says, thank you all for looking into the Lot Carey Road situation. Steve Furman says, a pillar of public health containment for a highly transmissible pandemic in conjunction with testing is contacting confirmed cases and tracing their contacts to help prevent further spread. It appears we or our health department are not so engaged. I know, Dr. Furman, we have really been engaged with our community and just getting out information. We have been working with the health department and expressed our concerns for not being having a higher presence here in Charles City County. And so working with the Chickahominy Health District, I agree with you, is something that we have to just really work harder to get them to become more engaged. They conducted the 2 testing sites that we had here in the community early on in the pandemic. And so they just need to see that engagement. So we appreciate that. DJ says, who is responsible for picking up trash on the roads? You want to address that?
VDOT is responsible for picking up trash, but again, they have cut their services everywhere they possibly can. When we see a lot of trash out there and citizens are reported to us, we report it to VDOT, and but they are responsible for picking up trash. But we used to have different organizations to pick up trash. Take, for instance, you have your hunt clubs. They would pick up trash on certain roads. The road was dedicated to them. On Route 5, I know from Images up to the Rice Center, that part of the road was dedicated uh, to a family there that did catering services. But other than that, it's VDOT's responsibility.
DJ also wants to know, when are they going to finish the walking track at Harrison Park?
I think that was mentioned by Ms. Lisa Jones. I would ask Ms. Johnson to get Public Works to look at that and let us know the condition and roughly maybe get a contractor to come and see what it would cost to put a walkway around the track up there.
Not a problem. I'll have Ms. Pine is taking notes for this evening. We'll get with the Public Works Director just to get some cost estimates. I know we have shifted some things, some priorities around for COVID-19. And so we will look to see how much that will cost and when we can get that done. I thank you, Ms. Jones and Mr. or Mrs. DJ. I'm not sure if it says male or female, but thank you so much for that comment. Angela Hayes just said the health district does do contact tracing, and so we're thankful for that. And while we're waiting for other questions, the third question that we wanted to know was about the COVID-19, the pandemic itself. You know, are there lingering needs in District 1 that you feel the county should address for COVID-19? Again, we'll be distributing additional face masks and hand sanitizer. We were able to give out 250 face masks to 20 of the churches. We have 20 churches here in Charles City County, and all 20 of them have picked up 250 face masks, and we have 5,000 more coming. And so we want to continue to help citizens, battle this pandemic. And so, are there any lingering needs in District 1 that you feel the county should address for COVID-19? If so, drop your comments in the comment section on Facebook or YouTube. And we'll be happy to address them. So, Mrs. Smith, I know you said that this is your last term. I'm going to see probably a year and 2 years if I can convince you to serve 4 more. But
you just did.
And so, what do you want to get done in these next 3 years to finish strong?
I don't know if it'll be my last term or not. I have a goal to serve on the planning commission. I have to reach that 50-year mark, and I'm
Okay.
about 4 years away. So one term on on the board would not do it. I'm gonna have to go into another term and then I'll be satisfied. What was the question? What I need to in the next 3 years? Well, like I said, I definitely want to get that fire station in District 1. I definitely want that more than anything right now. That's the only thing that I can think of right now. But like I said, I'd mentioned doing the rezoning in that area also. I think we need to do that, really work on that hard.
Yeah, one of the things we've we've identified the site. I think we have an address for that site now. We're also working, getting ready to start the next phase for a project manager to do the RFP for the design of the fire station. So hopefully next year, this time, we'll be breaking ground for that fire station. Helen Payne Jones, her question too is to inspire engagement, citizens will need to know that they can express issues without fear of publicly being attacked and trust that we can agree to disagree. Citizens need to know that they are welcome to be a part of governing.
Ms. Jones, I've always welcomed anyone that want to serve on any commission since I've been on the board. And I've always agreed to disagree, and I hope I can continue to do that. And if we can't agree, when I walk away, I'm still gonna have the utmost respect for you and anyone else. It's not my intention to dislike or hold any grudge against anyone. So if you're interested in serving on any boards or commission, talk to Ms. Johnson, and she will direct you in the area that you want to serve on. Like I say, I don't have any problem with you serving.
Okay, so we have DJ. So because of the trash situation, do you know VDOT can put signs up that say something about violators will be prosecuted as this trash issue has become a larger issue?
I'm thinking, I can't exactly tell you where they are, how many is up, but I see those signs around a whole lot. But I will address that issue tomorrow evening and ask VDOT, can they put signs up in different areas to state that. But I'm just hoping that as far as the citizens of Charles City County, that and this is just my opinion, that we take more pride in our county. Like I said, I think the worst place in the county that I've seen is Wayside Road and Route 5. McDonald's, I mean, you name it, every fast food company or a restaurant that's out there, you will see it there. And that's a convenient place when they come from Richmond. And after they eat, they throw it right out the window. And that's not good if we don't take pride in our own county and try to keep it clean.
DJ, did you have any suggestions on where the signs are located? I know that Mr. Smith just stated about Wayside Road, Route 5, I guess the cut through by um, the gas station at the corner, but did you have any roads that you want to suggest for the signs to be placed, or are you just talking in general? If you could drop your comment in the comment section below, and that way we can capture and get VDOT to focus on those roads specifically. I know that we are going to attempt to do another virtual litter cleanup here in Charles City. Hopefully we can get some participants. We had trash bags that were donated by VDOT, those pickers for the litter, and so we actually didn't have anyone to sign up. So we encourage that when the county rolls out a virtual litter cleanup, that citizens will participate. And we're just asking you just to do the street that you live on, or if you want to pick a road, maybe you and a couple of friends, get together and do trash pickup around the community or the road that you don't live on, because again, we all going to win when we work together. And so we're hoping that citizens will participate in that effort when we do it again in the very near future. All right, so DJ says Wayside Road and Route 5, so we will add that to the list to give to VDOT tomorrow night for the litter violation signs that we can have and implemented. So Val Johnson Stewart says, I called the county health department to test for COVID on Monday, and they didn't have any appointment until Thursday, which I felt was unacceptable. We in the end had to drive to Richmond for testing. This is, to me, is potentially a dangerous situation because not everyone has the resources to get to another county or city for being tested. Thankfully, we did test negative. I'm so glad that you're doing well, Ms. Stewart, and we will. Did you go to the Central Virginia Regional Health Services or the Health Department? I'm thinking you're talking about the one on Route 155, but we are glad that you are doing okay. Becky Atkins Branch says, DJ, they know they won't be. That's the point. So we'll do every attempt that we can for the signs, Ms. Branch. Helen Payne Jones says, FYI, dump trucks are still using Wayside Road between Route 5 and Route 106. Did you want to address that, Mr. Smith?
5 and 106, they're using Wayside Road.
Yes.
The only thing we can do, and I would ask you, Ms. Johnson, to call that to the attention of the sheriff department and see if he could have one of the deputies monitor that area real close just to see, if we can catch someone coming through there. The only trucks that's allowed on that road is the one, if they live on that road, and I can't think of anyone that owns a dump truck to live on that road, so they're doing it illegal. But I would ask Ms. Johnson to get with the sheriff department and address that issue, please.
So Ms. Val Johnson Stewart says she called the doctor's office on 155. I know they have limited testing and limited sites, so I will just speak with them to see how they can, encourage them to, have testing available every day. So thank you, Ms. Stewart. Ms. Lisa Jones says, speaking of trash, what can be done about the residents with eyesore homes and grass ordinance? Will there be a grass and home ordinance put in place? Did you want to address that? I want me to. So Ms. Jones, there is an ordinance in place, and if you have a residence that that is an eyesore in your community, you can contact our planning department and give them that address. We do have several citizens that have called in for properties on Kimmages, properties in other areas of the county that we are working with the homeowners now. A couple of the properties, the landowners live out of state, and so they are in violation, and it is up to $1,000 fine per day if they don't get it cleaned up. So if you have a property that's eyesore with high grass or, trash or just causing a problem in your community, please contact the planning department and give them that address, and we'll do an investigation. Ms. Pat Bazard, I'm in District 3 on Route 5, and trash litter is an issue there. My sense is offenders are local residents plus pass-through commuters. Unfortunately, an issue hard to stop. Thank you, Ms. Bazard. It's something that we definitely are working hard to eliminate with VDOT. DJ says, I understand what you said about community cleaning your neighborhood, but shouldn't VDOT do that job? I know you do not manage them, but how can we get VDOT to handle road issues without citizen contact? Mr. Smith, did you want to address that?
Yes, I will. We as the staff and the board of supervisors, we don't mind getting involved because every time someone report an issue, regardless whether it's VDOT or anyone else, I get involved in it. But if you come to the meetings sometime, or else you'd ask them a question, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when we address these issues with VDOT. Is always a time frame that they're working in. And take, for instance, the grass cutting. I think someone mentioned that earlier. All right, now they cut grass, I think it's 3 times during the grass cutting season. And once they make that circle, by the time they get back, the grass is overgrown again. And some of the grass is so close to the highway or weeds is hitting the sides of the car. I have a instance that I'm gonna report tomorrow evening that citizens have called in. But I just wish we had more control over VDOT. But that's the way it is. We tell them and report it to them, and they put it on their schedule, and that's but all they will do.
DJ also says, I was told employees of VDOT cannot do certain things unless an issue was called in. Um, we haven't, that's the first time I think I've heard of that, but that's something that we can address with VDOT. Hopefully encouraging them to be more proactive versus reactive. Definitely, we do have a problem with VDOT, and we have planning some things to sit down with not only the local residents, resident engineer and department, but also our regional staff, because we just get too many complaints on roads and grass and ditches, and it's just becoming, bothersome. So we are planning to do something in the next couple of months, but keep your comments coming. You can send your emails, and every time we get have a question or a response or concern from VDOT, we are passing it on. Becky Atkins Branch said they trimmed the size of Atkins Road 618 today. So thank you, Ms. Branch. I know that usually when we put out something to them, they get right on it. DJ says, thanks. Charlotte Peterson says, what is law pertaining discharging firearms in the county?
Right now, I've talked to the planning department, and if I'm correct, there's nothing that we can do with discharging firearms in the county, especially, if you're on your own land and you're not putting anyone in danger. And when I say that is you're not shooting towards anyone's home. But I totally agree with you. It is an issue. We've been getting calls recently of people firing firearms not too far from my house. A whole lot of times it sounds like it's a war up there, and I mean those guns are really loud. And I know someone called me 2 weeks ago up in the Union Baptist area, and the planning department went up there and visited them and told them if they have a shooting range, is certain rules and regulations they have to comply with. So I encourage you to call me, Ms. Johnson, or whoever the case might be, and let us know where it is and the address, and we will pursue it from there. Thank you.
Yeah, we did have a situation in your district with some citizens firing on that property, and they have received a notice of violation, and they have remedied the problem right before they saw that we were serious. And we're going to, continue on to litigation and enforce our ordinances. So, Ms. Peterson, if you have a property address that you want us to investigate, please. You may not want to put it here, but you can send an email to Mr. Smith or myself, and we will forward it to. The planning department in order to have the investigation conducted. So we thank you for that. Steve Hoyt, just like other state departments, VDOT has taken massive budget cuts. Services are going to be impacted. Thank you, Mr. Hoyt. Helen Payne Jones says, is it legal for fireworks in the county?
From what I can understand, it's illegal to even buy them, but I see places, especially in the Hopewell area and in North Carolina, people go down there and get them. So if that's an issue or a problem, we need to find out who is doing it and the address itself. But it'd probably be hard to catch them right in the act, and the reason being, generally they'll do that on special occasions. But you can let us know. Just give us the address, and we will contact them and tell them that we had citizens to call in and they have a concern, and we'll go through the planning department to do that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any other questions or concerns, you can drop them here. We've been on for about an hour, and we are so excited that we've had so many citizens to reach out to us. Mr. Smith is excited. I think he learned how to mute the machine by the end of the night, so we're excited about that. We're ready for tomorrow night, Mr. Smith.
One thing I did learn this evening to do that to mute.
So if you have any last comments or questions, you can drop them in the comment section now before Mr. Smith closes us out. We do appreciate all of you all taking the time to just participate in the District 1 virtual town hall. Don't see anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate y'all joining in for our District 1 Town Hall meeting. It was really enjoyable. But again, if you have any questions or concerns that I can help you with, please feel free to give me an email or call or whatever it takes to get in touch with me. No problem or issue is too large or too small that I will try to address them. Okay?
It looks like we have one last question regarding Harrison Park. How can we get more trees for shade, and will the concession stand be replaced? Mr. Troy Miles, we don't have any intention. Mr. Smith, you can mute your machine. We don't have any intentions right now to add additional trees, but we do have plans to replace the concession stand at Harrison Park. Steve Hort said, "Will you put the link for the supervisors meeting on Facebook?" Ms. Pine, we don't have that link. That link will go up tomorrow, Mr. Hoyt, or is it later tonight, Ms. Pine? Later tonight, Mr. Hoyt, the link for the Board of Supervisors meeting for tomorrow night will be available on Facebook. And so it's going to be still the streaming platform. We'll have streaming Facebook Live and YouTube Live. So look out for that link later tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this, I guess, concludes our District 1 Town Hall. Thank you so much for your attendance tonight.
You and see you tomorrow.